and welcome to my sample video lesson. Today I'll be taking you through the presentation and delivery of a listening exercise. The exercise is intended for ESL learners at a beginner level. Although the main focus will be on building listening skills, this exercise will also incorporate speaking and reading skills throughout the activity. Students will be listening to a short telephone conversation involving a medical receptionist and a patient about a medication refill request. The class has already been presented with a list of new vocabulary words that you see here behind me. And together we have explored their pronunciation, including points of stress as well as their meaning. In the upcoming presentation, the students will be putting this vocabulary into context as it appears throughout the dialogue that they are listening to. The dialogue and the vocabulary will work hand in hand. The activity will involve an interactive questionnaire that will test student comprehension of what they are hearing within the dialogue. It will satisfy one of my enabling objectives, in which students will be able to correctly identify the gist of a dialogue through the completion of an interactive multiple choice questionnaire, and will tie in nicely with the overarching learning outcome from my lesson plan, where students will be able to recognize the gist of a dialogue by listening to a telephone conversation between a medical receptionist and a patient. Thank you all for coming back from your break so promptly. I really appreciate that. In our next activity, we're going to take these lovely vocabulary words we just learned, and we're going to use them in context. So how are we going to do that? We're going to be doing a listening exercise. Now, before I get into the details of the exercise, I just wanted to ask you, do you have any experiences you can share about having to call the doctor's office? Thanks, Sam. So you've had to call the doctor's office because you weren't feeling well, which is an excellent reason to call. You want the doctor to look at you and hopefully make you feel better. Does anyone else have an example of when they called the doctor's office? Because your child needed their immunization or their shots. That helps keep them healthy and the school's happy. And you called for your annual physical. Again, a great reason to call the doctor's office. So in the dialogue that we're going to listen to together today, there'll be another familiar scenario. Perhaps you've had to call the doctor's office in the past because you've run out of your medication and you needed to get more. In our dialogue, we're going to listen to a patient, Mr. Top, speaking with a receptionist asking about a medication refill. Now, before we get to listening to that dialogue and doing the activity, I just want to go over a couple of the instructions that we need in order to do the activity successfully. So number one, the activity is going to be a multiple choice questionnaire. And we're going to take this questionnaire and make it interactive by using our tablets today. I'm going to hand out the tablets in a moment and walk everyone through this signing on and logging in activity. Once everybody is logged in, I'm then going to play the listening dialogue. Now, in order to listen successfully, I'm going to recommend that we take all of our books, our papers, and our pencils, and close everything up and push it to the side. We're not going to be needing to take any notes or document anything. We're simply going to rely on our listening skills to answer the questions. So once you've had a chance to listen to the dialogue, I'm going to start the questionnaire. You're going to see the questions on the projector, and you'll be able to provide your best possible answer. So there'll be 4 answers to choose from for each question. Once you've entered the question's answer, the results will be displayed on the screen, and we're going to discuss them together as a class. So, without any further hesitation, why don't we get started with the first step? I'm going to just take a moment and hand out the tablets. Now that everybody has the tablet on their desk and we're ready to get started, I'm just going to walk you through the sign-in process. So on your tablet, you should see at the bottom the internet browser. This is Safari. I'm just going to get you to click on that, and that's going to open up a brand new internet window. So in this window, what I'm going to get you to do is click right up here at the top where we have the web address bar. And now we see the keyboard pop up. Using the keyboard, I want you to type in kahoot.it. I'm going to do that for us here. Okay, so once I have it typed into the address bar, I'm just going to focus in on this blue Go button and click it. And that's going to launch the Kahoot app. So here we are at the login page. Next, what I'm going to get you to do is enter in the PIN number. And I have the PIN number also written up here on the wall, 897072. I'm just going to take a moment and type that in as well. Again, the keyboard will pop up. You just need to type in the number and then hit the black button at the bottom that says enter. Okay, and it's going to do a little swirly, and then you're going to get to this window here, in which case you're going to enter your name. Now, as you type your name in here, and you hit the black OK Go button at the bottom, what's going to happen is we're going to see your name pop up on the projector screen. And this is how I can tell that everybody in the class is signed in. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a moment and sign in. And once I see everyone's name up on the screen, we'll be ready to begin. If anyone's having trouble with the login process, please just raise your hand. And either myself or one of my assistants will be around to give you a hand with the login process. Okay, now I can see that everybody here is logged in. Everyone's name is on the screen. So before we start actually playing the game, what we're going to do is that quiet listening. So I'd like everyone to just set their tablets down on the table. And sometimes it's helpful to even close your eyes so you can focus on the listening. So here we go. I'm going to start up the dialogue, and together we're going to listen to what is happening in the conversation. Good morning. Thank you for calling the doctor's office. This is the receptionist, Martha speaking.
Hello, Martha. This is Mr. Top calling. I'm a patient of Dr. Sims.
Hello, Mr. Top. What can I do for you this morning?
I am almost out of my medication and I'm worried I might run out. I need to get a refill.
Did you contact the pharmacy to see if they can give you any more?
Yes, they said I'm out of refills. They told me to contact the doctor's office to get a new prescription.
Okay, we can get you in to visit with the doctor. Please hold while I find you an appointment time. Great listening, everyone. Thank you so much for the silence while we listen together. So now that we have that dialogue fresh in our mind, let's get started and play the game. So our first question is going to be, who is Martha? Is she the pharmacist, the doctor, the receptionist, or the patient? Okay, now that the questionnaire started, I just wanted to show you this is what your tablet's going to look like. And you just need to select the color or the shape that corresponds with the answer you feel is best. And the answers are in. We've got a unanimous vote. So with that unanimous answer, we can tell that everybody was listening closely and picked up on the fact that Martha is the receptionist in the dialogue. Great work, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and launch the next question and see how we do. When Mr. Top says he is a patient, he means he is waiting calmly. Dr. Singh is his doctor. He has an appointment with Dr. Singh, or he is worried about waiting. And the answers are in, and we have a split class on this one. So this last one, I'm not surprised that we have a split class on this. The question about the word patient, we know that when we looked at the vocabulary words earlier that the word patient can actually mean two different things. So in one regard, patient could mean to wait patiently. Now you remember I showed you that little YouTube video of the children who were offered a treat, a marshmallow. They could have one and put it on a plate, but if they waited until the person came back, they could get two. But they had to wait patiently without eating any of the first one. So that was a big test of patience, having to wait calmly and resist the urge to eat that first marshmallow so that they could gain two. Now, the second meaning of the word patient, can anyone remind me what that second meaning is? That's absolutely right. It refers back to an interaction between a doctor and someone the doctor is caring for. The person the doctor cares for is the patient in this scenario. That's excellent. So in the conversation that we heard, Martha and Mr. Top is the patient of Dr. Singh. Dr. Singh provides medical care for Mr. Top.